Fatal Fury Season 2 has begun with the release of its first character, Kim Jae Hoon, and let me tell y'all something, without these devs are talking, we are not prepared for this season pass. Hey, how you doing? It's DecepySwag, and today we're going to be talking about Season 2 of Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, going over everything we know and things we don't know as of yet, along with going over some interesting comments from Senior Game Design Manager Shinya Tamaki and Game Design Director Shunto Chikatani from an interview with 4Gamer. But before we get into that, if you're enjoying the content and want to see more, then please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more, and don't forget to tap that bell icon. Now with that out of the way, let's talk about some Fatal Fury Season 2. So as I said before, Season 2 for Fatal Fury City of the Wolves has started with Jae Hoon kicking it off, originally making his debut in the previous entry, Garou Mark of the Wolves, back in 1999. If you're wondering what my thoughts are on his inclusion, you can check out my character breakdown linked in the description, but to give y'all a small summary, he's really dope. Jae has some of the coolest combos in the game, and where he differs from his brother Don Juan, he's not as mix-up heavy as him. Jae plays a bit more honest, but that's not to say you can't be caught lacking if your defense isn't up to par. Definitely a great rendition of the character, and also not to mention his stage is probably my new favorite, along with him having a top 5 theme in the game. Along with his inclusion came a major balance patch update for the game, full of nerfs and buffs for the roster, but more so buffs for the majority of the cast, with some top tiers getting nerfed. Not completely killed, but definitely tweaked. This as well as the change with EX moves no longer causing a hard knockdown, along with DP moves losing their invincibility when in overheat. Definitely has given this game a breath of fresh air. If you want to see the nitty gritty details, I'll include a link to the balance patch notes in the description, or I might just pin it in the comments. But in keeping with the topic of Season 2 characters, let's go over who is included with this season pass. So first and foremost, Season 2 of Fatal Fury City of the Wolves will be $20, having 6 characters releasing monthly. Yes, monthly. January we had the release of Kim Jae Hoon, February we'll have the release of Nightmare Geese Howard, March we get Blue Mary, April we'll have Wolfgang Krauser, and May and June we'll have 2 mystery characters. SNK are kind of being coy about that, so maybe we'll see some at EVO Japan. In a recent interview with 4Gamer, Shinya Tamaki and Shunto Chikatani discussed various things regarding how they first got involved with SNK, and what games they worked on prior to their current roles on City of the Wolves. Shinya first joined in 07 back in the Playmore era and was involved in different projects with SNK as a planner and was director for Metal Slug Attack, now in current days serving as the Senior Game Design Manager for Fatal Fury. Shunto joined in 2017, having worked on SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy and then assigned to Samurai Showdown 2019 development team, and was the director since Season 3, where fast forward to now, he's the Game Design Director for Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. After giving some backstory of who they are and how they came to be in SNK, 4Gamer would then decide to dive right into it about City of the Wolves, and we got some very interesting information. First things first, every character in this season pass will come with their own stage. Now this is something I have been asking for a very long time, even way back with the King of Fighters 15, and that's wanting SNK to provide their games with a lot more stages, be it through updates or DLC. So seeing that not only are we getting new stages, but every character is coming with a new stage is definitely a welcome surprise. However, in the case of Nightmare Geese, they mentioned he of course wouldn't have one since technically his stage is already in the game, that stage being Geese Tower. Tamaki would say, quote, "Nightmare Geese already has Geese Tower, so there won't be any new dedicated stages, but we have a little surprise planned for February when Geese are released," end quote. What this could mean exactly, I have no real idea, so comment down below what you think he could mean by this. Moving on to the next character, Blue Mary, set to release in March, was talked about regarding her inclusion and what her stage would be like. When discussing Mary, they acknowledged that the City of the Wolves roster doesn't have that many female fighters, so besides Blue Mary of course being such an important character in the franchise, her inclusion also helps with the issue of female representation. They would also go on to talk about what we could expect stage-wise for Mary come her release, saying that many folks associate a beach stage with Mary, but instead Chikatani says, quote, "This time we've recreated a church stage with striking stained glass in 3D graphics," end quote. Blue Mary being introduced back in Fatal Fury 3 had her own stage, and that stage was this beautiful cathedral with stained glass. This stage is one of the most iconic stages in SNK fighting games, so to have them say that we're getting this in a City of the Wolves style frankly will be amazing and could potentially be one of their best stages ever in this new era of 3D SNK games if they nail it. Following Mary, we have Wolfgang Krauser, set to release in April, and regarding his stage, Chikatani mentioned that since all battles in City of the Wolves takes place in Southtown, Krauser wouldn't be getting his German stage from Fatal Fury 2, but don't worry because Chikatani will follow that by saying, quote, "So we've prepared a new stage that matches Krauser's image. The background music is also an arrangement of music from previous games, so I think the atmosphere is perfect," end quote. They also mentioned that they've completely reworked Krauser's moveset and adjusted it to maintain the powerful impression everyone has of him. They also added new moves, making his fighting style more versatile than ever before. Now, regarding the 2 mystery slots slated for May and June, we didn't get information about those characters, unfortunately. We could presume one of them is Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star series, given that animated teaser SNK release setting the FGC on fire. I mean, at this point, it has to be Kenshiro. When asked if there were anything they could say regarding the mystery characters, Tamaki said, quote, "Unfortunately, I can't say anything about these 2 characters at this time. However, I'm sure players will be pleased with them," end quote. And that about wraps up the interview. Gamer did mention Kim Cup 1 and the possibility of him making it to City of Wolves, to which the dev said it's possible, so for any Kim fans watching, there's still hope for him to make the roster in the future. As far as my thoughts on all this information, this is fantastic, not only from the aspect of us getting a new character every month for 6 months straight, which, mind you, all of them getting their own stage, except for Geese of course, who's going to have some surprise with him, but also the comments about them seeing and receiving feedback from the fan base about things like balancing, updating the user interface, as well as continuing to upgrade training mode, as well as improving smart style. Having a developer that listens to his community is something that's extremely important. Not to say that they have to take to heart every single thing a fan ever asked them, but definitely taking to heart actual criticism and actual gripes we fans in the community have, and it's showing that they're not only listening, but are aware and making those changes. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. But before I let y'all go, you already know I'm about to ask you, and that's, what are your thoughts? How are you feeling about Season 2's characters? Who do you think the last 2 characters will be? And comment down below, who are you most excited for in this season pass? I did a poll a while ago asking everyone who they were looking forward to, and it looked about how I thought. Again, Season 2 of Fatal Fury City of Wolves is live, getting 6 characters, each character a month with their own stage, all for the price of $20. Can't beat that. If you enjoyed the video, then please give it a thumbs up. Let's try to get the video around 100 likes. Always appreciate it. That's all for now. Till next time, I'm DecepySwag. Later.